Greetings friends and welcome to another Tempo Storm Hearthstone Battlegrounds video. In our Building a Winning Battlegrounds team video, we asked for your feedback regarding what kind of content you would like to see more of in order to improve your Battlegrounds gameplay. We heard you loud and clear and have decided to take a deeper look at how to position your minions on the battlefield. It's important to note that some of the footage was taken prior to the recent balance patch, but all of the information remains the same. Before we begin, be sure to subscribe to the Tempo Storm Hearthstone YouTube channel to keep up to date with our latest Battlegrounds content. Now then, let's get started. In order to identify how to properly position your minions, it's important to always consider the current game state. The state of the game can be broken down into three main segments: early game, mid game, and end game. Each of these segments require different positioning tactics to progress to the next game state with as much health as possible. In Hearthstone Battlegrounds, health is a resource just as much as gold is. You aren't out of the game until your health reaches 0, so it's important to leverage your health to constantly and consistently bolster your board over the course of the game. In addition to watching your health, you should also be watching the sidebar on the left side of the board. This bar will display who you are facing off against next, as well as important information about the enemy heroes, showing things such as how much damage they've taken or dealt in previous battles. Here we can clearly see from the sidebar that we are about to face Nefarian. Unless Nefarian has a token minion to sell back to the shop, he will be unable to use all 5 gold to purchase minions, meaning it is very likely that he will spend some of his gold to use his hero power. But most importantly, we can see that Nefarian has won his last 2 battles and has received 0 damage from battle, yet only has 38 health. We can use this information to make an educated guess that he has picked up a Vulgar Homunculus, since the battle cry of that minion would deal 2 damage to his hero. This influences our decision on how to position our minions. It's best for us to purchase Harvest Golem and Cold Light Seer and position our Harvest Golem on the left to ensure that we have the required 4 attack power to break through Nefarian's Vulgar Homunculus that we are speculating he is in possession of. Sure enough, our guess was correct and we are rewarded for properly positioning our minions based on the information that was provided to us. When purchasing minions from the tavern, if you pick up a minion that can generate new minions as part of its death rattle, it's important to consider proper positioning when placing these on the battlefield. Ensure that your token generating death rattles will have enough space to summon all of their tokens by placing them in the middle or right side of the board. Additionally, minions such as Mounted Raptor can occasionally drop minions of a higher tavern tier on death. These minions will deal a few extra points of damage to your opponent if they live, so you can consider positioning these types of minions in the middle right side of the board to sneak in a few extra points of damage to your enemy if you win the round and the newly summoned minion survives. Taunt minions that you purchase will likely be placed on the far right side of the board. This allows the minion to deal damage to multiple enemy minions without ever having to attack, while queuing up your stronger minions to attack first by placing those minions to the left of the taunt minion. When transitioning to the mid-game, proper placement of death rattles becomes more important. We want our high-value death rattles that bolster our board presence to die first. Some good examples of these would be Spawn of N'Zoth, Selfless Hero, or Kaboom Bot. This strategy can be seen here as we face Shutterwalk. He places Selfless Hero as his first attacker in order to benefit from the Divine Shield buff that it will bestow on another friendly minion. In this particular situation, however, we have more minions than our opponent, so our minions get to attack first. Our mid-game state is stronger than his, and we are able to secure a pretty clean victory this round. The Cobalt Guardian purchase was huge for us, as we have now found a carry minion. A carry is a minion that scales extremely well with buffs throughout the course of the game, carrying our composition to victory. In the case of this Death Rattle mech build, Cobalt Guardian's ability to refresh its Divine Shield whenever a new mech is summoned is our path to victory. All that we have to do is position our minions in the correct order to maximize the amount of times we can refresh Cobalt's Divine Shield. Going into the next round, we want to start with our biggest minion on the far left so that it has a chance to clear off any large taunts. After that, we want our Harvest Golem to attack and die so that its death rattle refreshes the Divine Shield on our Cobalt Guardian, allowing it to deal even more damage against the enemy's composition for free. Our composition is still in its infancy and we must position our minions accordingly to maximize our damage input. We've managed to buff the health of our carry and pick up a Selfless Hero, so naturally we want to position our Cobalt Guardian on the far right side of the board. We have strategically crafted a board state where the only taunt is our carry, which means that it'll continuously be dealing damage to the enemy's composition as long as we can refresh its Divine Shield. This next round is a perfect example of that, where we are capable of killing off 6 minions before our our Cobalt Guardian dies. In the upcoming round, we will be facing Nefarian. It's safe to assume that he will be using his hero power to knock off any divine shields that we have on our side of the board. This ordinarily wouldn't bode well with us, however we managed to find a Mecharoo in the tavern, which is the perfect tech card to counter Nefarian's hero power. By placing the Mecharoo in the middle of the board, we are able to immediately benefit from its death rattle if Nefarian decides to hero power next turn, which will refresh the divine shield on our Cobalt Guardian. Nefarian does end up utilizing his hero power, but our tech option was successful and we are able to dismantle his entire roster by picking up the correct minion in the tavern and properly positioning it on the board, eliminating him from the game. At this point in the game, a well thought out composition will begin to outscale raw stats. This is why we were able to consistently take down opponents with stronger boards than us, despite only having really one powerful minion. Through careful strategy and optimal positioning, we are able to extract maximum value out of our carry minion to ensure that we are capable of taking down even the strongest of enemies. In the final round, we are going head to head with Yog. In a previous round, he was going for a build with beasts, and this influences our decision to purchase a tech minion, Zap Slywig, and ensure that it is placed on the far left to make immediate use of it. The goal here is to use Zap to snipe his scavenging hyena before it has a chance to spiral out of control. Additionally, he had a Cave Hydra for cleave. We can tech against this strategy by placing a selfless hero next to our lone taunt minion so that it absorbs the cleave and gives us another divine shield to work with for some free chip damage on the enemy's minions. Note that we chose to place our own Cave Hydra to attack after our entire death rattle chain has gone off. This ensures that we get the maximum possible divine shield refreshes on our Cobalt Guardian, while also ensuring that our Hydra is still alive and available to clear up any potential tokens that our enemy's Rat Pack might summon. Our opponent also remembered our composition and positioning from the previous fight and repositions his minions accordingly. He correctly places his taunt minion on the far left and places Goldrin next to it. This strategy would have been great to counter our previous positioning because our Cave Hydra would have cleaved into his Goldrin, killing it off and allowing his buffed Cave Hydra to attack into our board on the backswing. However, our tech options and repositioning nullified our opponent's attempt at victory. Overall, we take this round with relative ease, and through careful planning and intricate use of positioning, we are able to secure a first place finish with an otherwise weak-looking board state. Positioning is a crucial but difficult part of any game in Battlegrounds, and it's important that you understand it. We hope this video helped you gain a better understanding at how to position your minions in Battlegrounds. We have more Battlegrounds content coming in the future, so be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel to keep up to date with our upcoming content. As usual, make sure to let us know in the comments what you'd like for us to feature next. Thanks for watching.